in Cumbria is the venue for round 7 of the Maxxis British Motocross Championship. It's not been the greatest of summers weather-wise in the British Isles, but the sun is certainly shining here at Brampton in Cumbria today for round 7 of the Maxxis British Motocross Championship. This is how the championship stands in MX2. Mike Brown leads Gareth Swanepoel by just a point. We're getting ready to go, Jason. No Stephen Sword, of course, today. Great shame.
Yeah, unfortunately, Stephen's injured himself, and not good news for him.
Waiting for the gate to go, and away we go. Oh, great start by Mike Brown. Gareth Swanepoel's alongside so too. Tommy Searle on the inside, but it's going to be Mike Brown who leads. Oh, down goes Tommy Searle. 1, 2, 3 bikes are down. 4 bikes, man. That's Coleman's down. So too is Swanepoel. Unbelievable. Jamie Law as well on the Suzuki. But they're picking themselves up. Jason, what a start.
Yeah, disaster there for a number of the top guys in the championship, trying to get the bikes going again. And we've got another pilot here, just a few guys stuck together on the inside of the turn.
Just 1, 2 more have dropped down. Oh, Swanepoel and Searle lead together. Poor old Carl Nunn. I'm not sure exactly what happened. He dropped it to the left, they dropped it to the right. But it's this man who leads all the way from the US of A. It's Mike Brown, number 3. Leads the championship from Swanepoel by a point. Jason, try and talk us through that.
Yeah, a few things seem to happen together there. Tommy Searle and Gareth Swanepoel got stuck together on the inside of the turn, and I think Carl then got a push from somebody, and down he went. Looked like a separate incident almost.
This is the battle for 3rd place. And Elliot Banks Brown and Butler, who we've not seen anything of at all this year.
Yeah, this gives them Elliot with a really heavy fall there.
Oh, he is. Oh dear, oh dear.
Looks like he's winded himself, so will he get going again? We'll have to wait and see. But Mike Brown looking smooth out the front. Great start from Mike. He's gapped the field a little bit and totally in control.
Right, here we go again, Jason.
So you can see how bumpy the track is here, and he just catches one of the big whoops there, and suspension compresses and flicks him out over the front.
Well, here comes Jason Dugan, followed by Lewis Gregory. And of course, Jason, this year, it's not just championship points, but also people sorting out their rides for next year.
Definitely contract time. It's around now, and there's a few of these young guys, a few of the young Suzuki guys showing well today. Jake Nichols, Jason Dugan, Lewis Gregory. Good to see them at the front of the field.
But still, it's Mike Brown who leads. Mike Brown who will really open up not a sizable advantage, but a good healthy gap at the top of the standings if the order stays as it is in this race. But they're really starting to space out now at the front. Still Jake Nichols in 2nd place. And here's the man in 3rd, Jason Dugan. And Lewis Gregory back in 4th, and the Suzuki's really getting a moment to shine as well. But still, it's Mike Brown of the CAS Honda team who leads. We've mentioned it before as well, Jason, about Mike Brown, and that he's normally an MX1 rider, and here he is doing so well in MX2.
Yeah, it just shows Mike Brown's versatility. Obviously MX1 in the Grand Prix, and then he moves across to MX2 in the UK. But Tommy Searle, what a fight back from Tommy Searle. He's really dug in and continues to march towards the front with a great recovery.
Well, Tommy Searle really can't afford to lose any big points to Mike Brown in either of today's races. I mean, Tommy's been on talking, I was just going to say out of luck, and that is Coleman, completely out of luck. Jake Nichols, though, maybe his 2nd place may not be so secure, because I would definitely say that bike number 46, Jason Dugan, is getting closer to him. And look how, oh dear, I think that picture tells its own story.
Yeah, I think that's Alex Butler that we saw doing so well early in the race, but obviously massive problem for Alex at the moment.
No problems, though, for Mike Brown. The man who leads the series is the man who's leading this race, and by a very, very comfortable margin.
Yeah, Mike Brown's made light work of this one. Obviously got away, got the whole shot, and looking clean still. Found a good rhythm, and you see the difference really to Tommy Searle. He's had to fight from the back of the pack, covered in other riders' roost, and Mike rode his own race.
Everyone's always said that it's important to always get a good start, and people say that all the time. And oh, there is that Swanepoel.
That's Sean Simpson.
Sean Simpson, in fact, yes, it is Sean Simpson. Poor old Sean Simpson, another of the championship challengers. But I think I was saying earlier, Jason, that Mike Brown, it just goes to prove how good a good start is to your race.
Yeah, definitely, and a guy as experienced as Mike Brown, an AMA champion at the end of the day, so it's going to be a difficult guy to pull back if he gets away at the front, and that's what's happened here today.
Not far to go then for Mike Brown. He's going to pick up a very valuable 30-point haul, and that's Alex Butler. Poor old Alex Butler. So Mike Brown then is going to take the checkered flag here in race 1 in MX2 at Brampton in Cumbria in the 7th and penultimate round of the Maxxis British Motocross Championship. Here he comes to take the checkered flag. Mike Brown is the race 1 winner. Well, it's been a great effort from Tommy Searle. He's just a second behind Ashley Greedy. So Searle is going to take 4th, Greedy will be 3rd. Confirmation of the MX2 race 1 result. Tommy Searle takes 4th ahead of Tom Church. Ashley Greedy is 3rd. Jason Dugan is 2nd. But what a win for Mike Brown on the Honda. MX1 race 1. The riders take their positions. Ken Dyker on bike number 1, the fastest in qualifying.
Yeah, Ken with a comfortable gap over the rest of the field, over 2 seconds. So looking really strong here in the sand at Brampton.
Well, the 5-second board has just been displayed. We're waiting for the gate to drop. We're looking at bike number 2, Brad Anderson. Also, as away they go, bike 2 on 1, Billy McKenzie, who's really been bunched up, but Ken Dyker's got the best of starts. It's Ken Dyker that leads. Also in there, that looked like bike number 74, Neville Bradshaw. Great start from him, but a great start for Dyker, and not such a great start for McKenzie. Oh, someone's dropped it.
Brad Anderson's tried to make a really aggressive move around the outside and just buried the front wheel in the sand, and down he goes, but keeps the motor running and gets going again in the thick of the action. Well,
poor old Brad Anderson, but what a great start by Dyker.
Yeah, and occasionally Ken obviously doesn't make the best of starts, but I think he's going to take some stopping now that he's away clear at the front.
Well, he doesn't lead at the championship, of course. That position goes to Billy McKenzie. Now, where is McKenzie? Because he definitely didn't have the best of starts. He got bunched all on the inside line as well, which really didn't give him much options to make his way through.
Yeah, no sign of Billy there yet, actually. Neville Bradshaw, as you say, but here's Brad again. Charges down the outside, around the outside of 2 of the guys, but just gets flicked out over the front.
And Billy McKenzie on the Kawasaki, of course, this year. It's been a good year for him on the Kawasaki. He's enjoyed success with them in the past, and he's enjoyed his success with them during the 2007 season. Now this is the battle. In fact, that's still Neville Bradshaw that is ahead of Wayne Smith, and Brad Anderson on bike number 2 is also there as well. So that's Anderson back in 7th place.
Yeah, good recovery from Brad. A guy that spent a fair bit of time at Brampton, obviously a local track for Brad, and we saw him go down in turn 1 on the Pioneer Yamaha, but as always, maximum commitment from Brad. That's what we always expect. That's what's got him the reserve rider berth for the British team at the Motocross of Nations this year, and I'm sure he'll be looking forward to that experience in the States.
Well, I think he's about to go through on Wayne Smith, possibly, as we look at Neville Bradshaw. And here is Billy McKenzie. A solid year for the Scotsman. Wonder where he'll be next year. Well, we know where he is in this race because he's 3rd, and quite comfortably. That's Brian McKenzie taking the different line. Oh, in fact, through goes Brad Anderson.
Yeah, good move by Brad. Straight through on the inside. Brian got a bit caught up in the boom on the outside there. Some pretty deep sand, and Brad, full-on attack from Brad as he marches towards the front.
Well, there's Wayne Smith, Brian McKenzie.
Wayne Smith and Neville Bradshaw are in a PAR team duel here, basically, at the minute.
Bradshaw pushes Smith out. But this is more like Neville Bradshaw, and also this is a bit more like Wayne Smith that we used to see. I mean, he had a really disastrous year last year. It's not been a great campaign for him this time around either.
No, so far difficult for Wayne, but obviously a Cumbrian rider, so keen to do well on home ground, and knows the terrain here as well as anybody, I should think.
Brad Anderson. Well, if anyone could maybe challenge Billy McKenzie, I know it, you know it, and I think that's what Brad Anderson knows as well, because he's really going great guns.
Yeah, fantastic recovery from Brad. Like we keep saying it, but we expect commitment from Brad, and that's what you get every time.
Well, here is Anderson on the rear of Billy McKenzie. Brad Anderson really charging, and I think
you can see the fans getting behind Brad
really
there. A fair bit of local support.
Oh, with Brad Anderson as he takes the outside line and gets on the power. Now then, this is his moment, is it? It is. As if Billy McKenzie wasn't even there. eyes focused, straight ahead. Brown Anderson up past Billy McKenzie. Fantastic move. Surely McKenzie, now what's he going to reply with?
Yeah, Brad's managed to gap Billy almost immediately there, and Billy, I think, pulling away at his roll-off goggles there. So maybe a bit of a vision problem for Billy, and Brad's gapped him and made the most of it. That looks like the end of the story here in this fight.
Well, Brad Anderson, we talked about the possibility of catching Kendi Dijker. I still doubt that he's going to be close enough to the Belgian.
Yeah, definitely Kendi Dijker controlling things from the front. Brad Anderson, quite possibly the fastest rider on the track at the minute, I would think. But that gap that Ken established at the beginning, like his teammate Mike Brown in the first MX2 race, the easiest way to win the race here today was from the front at turn 1.
Well, I think we saw Brad Anderson's championship hopes really evaporate at the last round at Whitby. But he won't give up. He doesn't know that really. He'll keep on trying because you never know what's around the corner in motocross. But Billy McKenzie will take third place. That's a good haul of points, 25 points. And Dijker will take 30, of course. And McKenzie can afford to give away a few points here or there. But what he can't afford to do is drop big points, of course. This man, though, knows what he has to do this season. Effectively, he has to win every race and hope that McKenzie doesn't do it, but it's going to be a win. It's going to be another 30 points for Kendi Dijker, and it will go some way, of course, to plugging that 16-point gap, of which he trailed to McKenzie at the start of this race. So you're going to have to say Dijker is going to win this one. I think fairly safe to say that Brad Anderson will come second, Billy McKenzie will come third. Therefore, a handsome 5 points chopped off McKenzie's lead for Kendi Dijker. Every point is valuable now in the run-up to the end of the season. And of course, after this, there's only 3 more races to go, so there's only 90 more points on the table. But a great performance from Kendi Dijker, Jason.
Yeah, in a rich vein of form at the minute, Ken. Obviously, some success at the Swedish GP just a short time ago there, so looking really good at the minute.
So Kendi Dijker, there's been a lot of speculation as well about where he'll be riding next year. But at the moment, he's riding for CAS Honda, and he's riding for them very well indeed. And again, we're seeing, Jason, as we did in MX2 Race 1, the importance of a good start. We saw how Anderson and McKenzie didn't have the best of starts, and they've been held up, and Dijker got away like grease lightning.
Yeah, for sure. It obviously makes things a hell of a lot easier, and from time to time, Ken doesn't get the best of starts, but he certainly picked the right day to do it, and he's gapped everybody. Just looking down there, thought maybe a gear selection problem, but everything seems okay with the CAS Honda.
And everything seems okay with Kendi Dijker. You're looking at number 74, Neville Bradshaw, and this has got to be one of his best results and one of his best performances of the year, and what we'd have been coming to expect from the African.
Yeah, definitely looking like a 5th place finish if Neville holds that together, and I'm sure we'll be pretty pleased with that one to start the day.
Now, Dijker going very slowly indeed. I don't know what this is all about. Slightly worrying about he's put it on the back wheel, so Dijker showing that it's very easy as he slowly makes his way up to the checkered flag. Kendi Dijker takes the points. This is how they finish. Confirmation of Neville Bradshaw in 5th place. A great 4th for Wayne Smith. Billy McKenzie 3rd, Brad Anderson 2nd, but no catching Kendi Dijker in 1st. Well, we're looking good for a start. We wait for the gate to drop. We saw cataclysmic start really in race 1. Will it be a lot cleaner this time? Carl Nunn's got away quite well, but it's going to be Mike Brown who gets the whole shot. It's Brown ahead of Nunn. And this is how the championship stands after race 1 as we look at the field making their way through. And Mike Brown, the man who leads the series, is the man who leads the race. Well, a much better start this time around, Jason.
Yeah, dream start again for Mike Brown, but Carl Nunn and Tommy Seale got through safely this time, and they're well placed to try and put him under some pressure.
Well, Carl Nunn, of course, scored no points at all in race 1. But it's going some way to making up for that this time around in race 2 as we look further back down the field. Number 40 there was James Dodd. But Mike Brown, well, he's really settled into life here in the British Isles. He's ahead of Carl Nunn. Tommy Searle is up in the 3rd place. Jason Dugan is 4th. It's the usual suspects in race 2. And with Mike Brown just having that little 9-point advantage at the start of this race,